Whispers of thought in a quiet stream, tracing time through every theme. Stories unfold with gentle grace, exploring minds, a timeless space. Welcome to where ideas gleam.
Today afternoon, I met someone from as a visitor in IFEX. While talking to him, I realized that their expectation of the European Union and both Eastern and Western European countries, as well as developed countries, to provide AYUSH medicines or AYUSH products at GMP standards, which are similar to PICS or European Union GMP, as well as WHO GMP and Visa or US FDA, things like that, or maybe a Health Canada or a UK MHRA. For me, while I was talking to him, I realized that it is an expectation which needs to be validated, and there has to be a clarification why such expectations are not attuned as per the requirement and the core competence of AYUSH medicines or AYUSH products. So what I tried to do today evening is that I tried to identify 15 reasons why AYUSH products should not be reviewed under Pharma GMP standards. Okay, let's see which are the reasons why it should not be viewed under Pharma GMP standards. First of all, they form a different philosophical foundation altogether. Pharmaceutical GMP has evolved for synthetic single molecule drugs, whereas AYUSH products are holistic multi-component formulations rooted in natural substances and traditional knowledge. Applying Pharma GMP without an adaptation ignores this fundamental difference and hence should not be done. Now, when you look at the complexity of multi-herbal formulations, AYUSH formulations often contain multiple herbs or minerals whose therapeutic effect comes from synergy, whereas pharmaceutical GMP is designed for single APIs. Active pharmaceutical ingredients, a one-to-one comparison is scientifically unsound. And if we go forward, we see that codified standards already exist in AYUSH medicines. AYUSH systems are codified in pharmacopoeias like Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, Unani Pharmacopoeia, Siddha Pharmacopoeia and Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia, with monographs, identity, purity and strength test. These are specialized standards beyond what Pharma GMP addresses. If you look at the recent days, WHO itself recognizes traditional medicine. WHO has a traditional medicine strategy and has separate benchmarks for practice and regulation of traditional medicine. This shows traditional medicines require tailored regulatory pathways, not pharma copy-paste. Most importantly, their manufacturing processes have got a lot of differences. Pharma GMP assumes high pressure reactors, sterile environments, chemical synthesis and a strict API quantification, whereas AYUSH uses decoction, fermentation, calcination and oil extraction requiring distinct process validation. Historical and cultural validity also differs between AYUSH and Pharma formulations. AYUSH formulations have been used safely for centuries. Treating them under new chemical entities, that is NCEs, under Pharma GMP disregards their established traditional safety record and cultural acceptance. This actually unnecessarily employs compliance burden. EU GMP or PICS GMP compliance involves highly capital intensive clean rooms, HVAC, sterile isolators, etc., which are irrelevant for many AYUSH dosage forms like powdered form churna, taila, which is oil, and quath, and only increases costs without improving any safety standards per se. In marketing of any product, the risk benefit profile is very, very important. And in this case, AYUSH and Pharma products, the risk benefit profile is totally different. Synthetic drugs often have high potency and toxicity, hence stricter GMP is required, whereas AYUSH products, medicines being natural and polyherbal, generally have wider safety margins as well as lower toxicity. So risk mitigation frameworks must differ. There is no point in benchmarking them one against the other. In case of AYUSH, codified clinical validation exists. Many AYUSH formulations are not experimental. They are classical formulations mentioned in authoritative textbooks and backed by which is completely inaccurate for any reason whatsoever. When you look at the phytopharmaceutical complexity, the plant-based products have natural variability. AYUSH standards account for this using marker compounds, chromatographic fingerprints, and organoleptic valuation. This evaluation is so important and so critical as well as so immaculate for AYUSH formulations, whereas Pharma GMP expects absolute batch-to-batch molecular uniformity, which is not feasible for botanicals, and that's something which is pretty empirical. Legal recognition in India and abroad for products uh, that has now been established. India has Ministry of AYUSH started in the year 2014. Beg your pardon. GMP under Schedule T of Drugs and Cosmetics Act and pharmacopoeias. Several countries like UAE, US, EU herbal regulations already treat AYUSH or herbals under food supplement or herbal medicine frameworks, not Pharma GMP. There is always been innovation versus tradition conflict in this regard. Pharma GMP demands exhaustive innovation-driven R&D, which discourages traditional formulations. If AYUSH were forced into Pharma GMP frameworks, centuries-old validated formulations would be treated like new drugs, stalling there globally. Even developing countries like Germany, the Commission e-monographs and US Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, which is DSHEA, regulate herbals and dietary supplements differently. Forcing Pharma GMP on AYUSH would contradict this harmonization, and there will always be a sustainability concerns. When I say sustainability concern, I mean to say Pharma GMP often requires solvent recovery systems, sterile isolators, and chemical waste protocols. AYUSH processes are mostly eco-friendly and low waste. Imposing Pharma GMP could paradoxically increase the environmental burden. We all understand that recognition of evidence-based traditional systems is very important. The future, hence, therefore, lies in integrative medicine for AYUSH. For AYUSH to contribute, regulators must respect its evidence-based within its paradigm, not distorted by forcing Pharma GMP molds. Tailored AYUSH GMP like Schedule T plus pharmacopoeia standards ensures quality without losing authenticity, which is what I feel that I should have voiced it to the fraternity and people in the social media platform and belief system that exists within you for AYUSH system of medicine. Hence, after the discussion, I thought this is something that I need to voice. I've talked about 15 different points. So let's ponder upon this and see how we can push this through. Once we have a global push and all the houses who are into AYUSH system of medicine in India, we all the AYUSH companies as well as globally present traditional medicine companies, when we voice this together, okay, it will make a lot of sense. I think diplomatically as well as scientifically, we would be able to change the global understanding on AYUSH medicines, the way they are validated, the way they are they qualify to enter into foreign countries. There are a lot of adjustments that have been made. It's not that nothing has been made, but lot more scope is still there. The believability on the medications, the believability on the entire system, the believability on the products, that requires a concerted effort. There's a lot of effort that is going on, but there's many more has to be done. It doesn't mean there's any demeaning of the requirement of quality and standards. It only means that one size does not fit for all. So therefore, every system or every product that requires its own validation based on the context in which they have existed or been developed. So therefore, these 15 points I felt that I should highlight and see how we can together make it proceed for the benefit of the system of traditional medicine, tradition, complementary and alternative medicine, and globally, specifically AYUSH. Thank you.
Whispers of thought in a quiet stream, tracing time through every theme. Stories unfold with gentle grace, exploring minds, a timeless space. Welcome to where ideas gleam.